Hey guys, welcome back to OIC Chris, where it's never too late to have an OIC moment. So I've had more requests for more example videos. So I think I'm going to be starting a new series where I'm going to be doing the past papers for the May-June exam period. So I'm going to be putting the explanation videos aside and focusing more on past papers. So let me know what you guys think about that. Also, I just want to let you guys know that I'll be having a live Q&A session on the 1st of April 2022. So this coming Friday, for you guys to ask questions. It will be from about 11 till 1, so keep that on your calendar. And without any further distractions, let's jump into today's video. Okay, so we're going to be looking at question 1 of the May-June paper from 2021. If you don't have the paper, there will be a link in the description below where you can download the paper as well as the memo, and then we can start with the video. Okay, looking at question 1.1.1 and 1.1.2, I'm not going to be spending too much time on it as it is basic grade 11 work. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly run over it. If we look at 1.1.1, we've just been given a polynomial which we have to factorize. So if we factorize this over here, we can see that we're going to get minus 5 plus 4. Okay, so therefore x equals to 5 or x equals to negative 4. Okay, for 1.1.2, I'm also not going to spend too much time on it. They want decimal points, which means we need to be using the this formula over here, our quadratic formula. We know what a is, we know what b is, we know what c is. So if you plug that into your calculator, you'll get negative 1.12 or 1.79. Okay, so I'm going to be focusing now on 1.1.3 inequalities, because I do think it's something that is still a little bit, the concept isn't always grasped immediately. So big NB here must solve using a graph. Okay, you can't solve inequalities without using graphs. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the inequality that's being given to us. So we have x minus 1 squared greater than 9. Okay, so first thing, don't make the mistake of just squaring both sides and saying that x minus 1 is greater than 3, therefore x is greater than 4. Okay, be careful with this. You can do it this way, but remember we're dealing with an x squared over here, so therefore we need two values. Okay, so I'm going to suggest take everything to one side, FOIL everything out, and then solve it. Okay, so let's have a look. If we do that, we're going to have x minus 1 squared minus 9 must be greater than 0. Okay, now we can already see we're dealing with a parabola. It's been shifted to the right by 1 and down by 9. Okay, so if we FOIL all of that out, we're going to get to the following. We're going to get x squared minus 2x minus 8 should be greater than 0. Okay, and then if we factorize this now, we're going to have, let's see, x minus 4, then we're going to have x plus 2 must be greater than 0. Okay, so now the question is, we can't just state this one must be greater than 0 and this one must be greater than 0. Then we're going to get funny things. We're going to end up with x must be greater than 4 or x must be greater than negative 2. Now that doesn't make sense, because greater than 4 and greater than 2, negative 2 just means everything must be greater than negative 2. Okay, so this is why I say it's important to draw a graph. So let's quickly draw the following graph. I'm just going to do a short sketch over here. Okay, so the graph is going to look something like this. There's negative 2, there's 4, there's negative 9. Okay, so it's going to look something like that. Now they want the graph greater than 0. Now if the graph must be greater than 0, they're asking for everything above the x-axis. So we can see from 4 here to infinity, it's always above the x-axis, and from negative infinity up until negative 2, it's always above the x-axis. Okay, that's why it's always important to draw your graphs. Okay, so your final answer over here is x is an element of negative infinity. Okay, it's not including, so it up to negative 2, round bracket, union then with 4 up to positive infinity. Okay, or you could just state that x must be less than negative 2 or x must be greater than 4. Okay, now looking at 1.1.4, there's a square root involved over there. It's also for 4 marks. So let's see how we're going to go about this one. Okay, so 1.1.4, we have this over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 2 across and then divide by 2. So I'm going to have square root of x plus 6 equals to x minus 2 all over 2. Okay, I'm going to now square both sides. So I have x plus 6 equals to x minus 2 all over 2 squared, which means this is going to become 4, and then I'm going to have this bracket over here squared. So x plus 6 equals to, let's see, x minus 2 squared, all divided by 4. So now if I take everything across and I FOIL this out here, I'm going to have 4x plus, let's see, 6 times 4 is 24, is going to equal to x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay, so if I take everything to one side and I sort out all the algebra over here, we're going to end up with x squared minus 8x minus 20 equals to 0. Okay, now we can just factorize. So x and x equals to 0. So we've got 20 over here, we need 8. So we know that's going to be minus 10 plus 2. So therefore x equals to 10, or x equals to negative 2. Okay, but now you actually have to check your answer to make sure that this works over here. So let's see, if we plug 10 in over here, we're going to get 2 times the square root of 16 plus 2 must equal to 10. Okay, so we have this 2 square root of 16 for if x equals to 10 plus 2 must equal to 10. So let's see, 2 times 4 plus 2 equals to 10. 8 plus 2, therefore 10 equals to 10. So that one works. But now let's check negative 2. If I plug in negative 2, I'm going to get 2 square root of 4 plus 2 must equal to negative 2. Okay. Now you can see that this is always going to be positive, plus 2. So therefore we're going to end up with 2 plus 2 equals negative 2. Therefore we can see here that that's 4 plus 2, 6 does not equal negative 2. Okay, so we can't use x equals to negative 2. Okay, now let's have a look at 1.2 quickly. So 1.2 is solving simultaneous equations for solving for x and y. Okay, so if we look over here, I've rewritten the equations. So we need to make one of them the subject. So I'm going to use equation 1. I'm going to make it the subject. So I'm going to say 4x equals to 2 minus y. Okay, that's just going to simplify it. Why? Because there's a 4x over here. So plugging now this into equation 2, we're going to get 2 minus y plus y squared equals to 8. Okay, take the 8 across and simplify everything, which means we're then going to get the following. Y squared minus y minus 6 equals to 0. So we're going to get y equal to 0. So let's see, we're going to have minus 6 minus 1, which means we need negative 3 and plus 2. Okay, so y equals to 3 or y equals to negative 2. Now we substitute this back into our original equation, any one of them, or this one that we created, and we solve for x. So we can say 4x equals to 2 minus 3. Okay, so therefore x equals to negative 1 over 4. Or if we use the other y value, we're going to end up with 4x equals to 2 minus 2, which means x equals to 1, because it's 4 divided by 4. Okay. Now, finally, let's have a look at 1.3. Okay. So 1.3 is dealing with our exponents. So we have 2 to the x multiplied by 3 to the y, okay, equals 24 to the 6. And now they're asking us to solve x. What is the value of x minus y? Okay, so I've written it down over here. So let's have a look. How can we break 24 up to get 2 times 3? Well, we know that 24 is 6 times 4, or we can have it as, let's see, 12 times 2. Aha, we can do that. Let's see any other ways we can break it up. I think the best way is going to be breaking it up into 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 3. Okay, because then we have 8 times 3, which also works. Okay, so this is equal to 24, but now 24 is to the power of 6, so this whole bracket needs to be to the power of 6. Therefore, we're going to have 2 to the x multiplied by 3 to the y is going to equal to 2 to the 3 multiplied by 3 to the 1, and this whole thing is to the power of 6. So now by our laws we can distribute this in, so I'm going to have 2x multiplied by 3y equals to 2 to the 18, because 3 times 6 is 18, multiplied by 3 to the 6. 6 times 1 is 6. Okay, now because the bases are the same, I can sort out the exponent. So I can say that 2x equals to 2 to the 18. Why? Because the left hand side has to equal the right hand side. So therefore x equals to 18. Okay, and 3 to the y equals 3 to the 6, so y equals to 6. So therefore, if you want to find out what x minus y is equal to, it's going to be 18 minus 6, which equals 12. Okay, and that's how we go about doing this question. Hey guys, if you are enjoying the videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. It does help a lot. As you guys can see by this picture over here, not many of you that are watching the videos are subscribed. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to the channel, so please do consider subscribing and helping me out. If you are enjoying content like this, please leave a comment in the section down below. If you have any questions as well, put them in the comments. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. And remember, it's never too late to have an OIC moment.